Ladies and gentlemen, I stand before you today with a message that cannot wait, a truth that has been whispered in the hearts of men for generations. There is no tomorrow. Life is a fleeting gift, a moment in time that passes quicker than we often realize. We wake up each day with the assumption that we have time to chase our dreams, time to make amends, time to live the life we always imagined. But how often do we pause and truly grasp the reality that every second slipping through our fingers is one we will never get back? Life is short and time is precious, yet many live as if they have an endless supply of both. From the moment we take our first breath, the clock begins to tick, counting down the days, hours, and moments we have on this earth. None of us knows when our time will run out. Some live for decades, others only a few short years, and some never see beyond a single day. The truth is, we do not control the length of our lives, but we do control how we spend the time we have been given. The tragedy is not in dying young, but in living carelessly, assuming that tomorrow is a guarantee when it is merely a hope. Consider how easily we waste time, pushing our dreams into an uncertain future, believing that someday we will have the perfect conditions to start, but time does not wait for us. It moves forward with relentless speed, indifferent to our excuses and delays. Hours turn into days, days into years, and before we know it, we are looking back, wondering where it all went. How many people reach the end of their lives only to realize they never truly lived, not because they lacked opportunities, but because they assumed they had more time to take them. Every second we have is an irreplaceable treasure. It is the only resource that once spent can never be regained. Money can be lost and earned again. Material possessions can be taken away and replaced. But time, once gone, is gone forever. Yet we often treat time as if it is limitless. We scroll mindlessly through distractions, dwell in regrets of the past, or worry about a future that is not promised. Instead of living fully in the present, we postpone joy, love, and purpose, believing there will be a better time to embrace them. But what if today is all we have? The most successful and fulfilled people understand the value of time. They do not waste it waiting for the perfect opportunity. They create the opportunity by acting now. They understand that every moment is a gift to be used wisely. They invest their time in things that matter, in relationships, in personal growth, in making a difference. They refuse to let life slip through their fingers while they wait for some distant someday that may never come. Regret is the cruelest teacher, for it only speaks when time has already been lost. The things that bring the deepest sorrow in the end are not the risks we took, but the chances we never seized, the words of love we never spoke, the moments we let pass by because we were too afraid, too distracted, or too indifferent. Life does not wait for us to be ready. It moves forward whether we choose to embrace it or not. So what will you do with the time you have? Will you waste it on things that do not matter, or will you seize each moment, knowing that life is a precious gift? Will you wait for tomorrow, or will you embrace today with everything you have? Time is slipping away, and once it is gone forever. The question is not how much time you have left, but what you will do with the time you have now. Every day we are faced with decisions, some small, some life-changing, but every choice we make has consequences that ripple through our lives. Yet too often we delay making decisions, hoping for the perfect moment, waiting for more certainty, or simply avoiding the responsibility of choosing. We tell ourselves that we will decide tomorrow, next week, or next year. But life does not wait for us to be ready. The longer we hesitate, the more opportunities pass us by, and the more we risk losing the very things that could change our lives forever. Decisions shape our destiny. Every great achievement, every moment of progress, and every breakthrough in history happened because someone made a decision. They did not wait for perfect conditions, nor did they allow fear to hold them back. They chose to act despite uncertainty. The most successful people are not those who always make the right decisions, but those who refuse to remain stuck in indecision. They understand that standing still is often the greatest risk of all. Fear is the greatest thief of decisive action. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of making the wrong choice. These are the chains that keep people from stepping into their purpose. But avoiding a decision does not eliminate fear, it only strengthens it. The more we delay, the more doubt creeps in. Indecision is a silent destroyer of dreams. It keeps people trapped in jobs they hate, in relationships that drain them, and in situations that steal their joy. It convinces them that waiting is safer, that time will provide clarity, and that they can afford to hesitate. But life moves forward with or without us, and while we wait, opportunities slip away. The truth is, waiting for the perfect time to decide is an illusion. There will never be a moment when all conditions are ideal, when every doubt is erased, or when we feel completely prepared. Growth happens in the process of deciding, not in the delay. Progress comes when we step forward, even when we are uncertain. The greatest regrets in life are not the decisions we made, but the ones we never had the courage to make. Some decisions cannot wait. The decision to pursue a dream, to reconcile a broken relationship, to step out in faith, to change a destructive habit. These are choices that define the course of our lives. How many people have looked back wishing they had acted sooner? How many opportunities have been lost because someone waited too long? Time does not pause while we hesitate. It moves forward, and with it the chances we once had. Every day that we postpone a decision is a day lost. We deceive ourselves into thinking we have more time, but in reality, we are trading time for nothing. The longer we wait, the harder it becomes to act. Indecision creates stagnation, and stagnation kills potential. The only way to break free is to decide, to take action, to move forward, and to trust that even if the path is uncertain, movement is always better than standing still. No one can make our decisions for us. We must choose, and we must choose now. The life we desire, the person we want to become, and the impact we hope to leave behind all begin with a single decision. We cannot afford to wait. Tomorrow is never guaranteed. The only moment we have is now, and what we do with it will determine the life we live. There is a force that determines the course of our lives, a power that is often overlooked but holds the key to every breakthrough, every success, and every transformation. That power is the present moment now. Most people spend their lives trapped in two places. The past, where regrets and mistakes weigh them down, or the future, where fear and uncertainty paralyze them. But life does not exist in the past or the future. It only exists in this moment, in the now. Everything we desire, everything we hope to become, and everything we are meant to do can only happen in the present. The past is gone. No amount of regret, sorrow, or nostalgia can change what has already happened. People waste years dwelling on what could have been, replaying mistakes and wishing they had made different choices. But living in the past robs us of the power we have today. The truth is, no matter how painful or disappointing the past may be, it does not have to define the future. What matters is not what has been, but what we choose to do now. The decision to rise, to change, to grow. It can only be made in this moment. The past may have shaped us, but it does not have to control us. Then there is the future, that vast and uncertain place where many people lose themselves in worry and hesitation. They tell themselves they will start tomorrow, that one day they will take action, that eventually they will become the person they are meant to be. But tomorrow is always one step ahead, never arriving, always an excuse to delay what should be done today. People who wait for the perfect time to act often find themselves waiting forever. There will never be a perfect moment. The conditions will never be completely right. The only way forward is to embrace the now, to step into action despite uncertainty. Every great achievement in life begins with a decision made in the present. The person who wants to change their life cannot wait for a better time. The person who wants to mend a broken relationship must do it now, before time takes away the chance. The person who dreams of building something great must start today, not someday, is a lie. The only time we are guaranteed is this very moment, and how we use it will determine the course of our lives. Procrastination is the enemy of progress. It convinces people that they can afford to wait, that there is no urgency, that there will always be another opportunity. But time moves forward whether we act or not. The longer we delay, the more difficult it becomes to change. Opportunities pass, moments fade, and the life we once dreamed of slips away, not because it was impossible, but because we never acted. The difference between those who succeed and those who remain stuck is not talent, luck, or intelligence. It is the ability to seize the moment and take action now. Living in the now requires focus, courage, and discipline. It means refusing to be held back by past failures or distracted by future uncertainty. It means understanding that this moment, right now, holds infinite potential. Every choice made in the present shapes what is to come. The power of now is the power of transformation, the power of decision, the power of action. Nothing will change until we embrace the urgency of the present. There is no waiting, no postponing, no hoping for another time. The time is now, the moment is now, and those who grasp this truth will rise, while those who hesitate will be left behind. Fear and procrastination are two of the greatest enemies of progress. They creep into our minds, whispering doubts, feeding hesitation, and keeping us from stepping into the life we were meant to live. Fear tells us we are not ready, not capable, not good enough. Procrastination convinces us that we can wait, that tomorrow will be a better time, that we have all the time in the world. Together they trap people in cycles of inaction, robbing them of opportunities, growth, and success. But the truth is, fear is a liar, and procrastination is a thief. If they are not confronted and conquered, they will steal dreams, destroy potential, and leave nothing but regret in their wake. Fear is the voice that magnifies every possible failure while ignoring the possibility of success. It paralyzes people before they even take the first step. It makes them believe that they need to have every answer, every skill, and every resource before they begin. But no one who has ever achieved anything great started with complete certainty. They stepped forward despite their doubts. They understood that fear is not a sign to stop, it is a sign to move. Courage is not the absence of fear, it is the decision to act in spite of it. The only way to silence fear is through action. The moment we take the first step, fear begins to lose its power. The more we move forward, the quieter it becomes. Procrastination is the silent killer of dreams. It does not attack with loud warnings or sudden force. Instead, it works slowly, convincing people that delay is harmless. I will start tomorrow, they say. I will do it when I feel ready. But tomorrow turns into next week into next year, and before they realize it, years have passed, and the dreams they once held close have faded into distant memory. Procrastination is deceptive because it feels safe. It allows people to avoid discomfort, to stay within the familiar, to postpone the risk of failure. But what they fail to realize is that by avoiding the risk of failure, they are also avoiding the chance of success. Fear and procrastination often work together. Fear creates excuses, and procrastination gives them power. Fear says, "What if you fail?" Procrastination responds, "Then wait until you're ready." Fear asks, "What if you're not good enough?" Procrastination replies, "Then don't even try." This cycle continues until dreams are buried, potential is wasted, and time is lost. The only way to break free is to take immediate action. There is no perfect time, no perfect plan, no guarantee of success, but the greatest risk is doing nothing at all. Those who overcome fear and procrastination understand one simple truth. Action destroys fear. The moment they take a step forward, fear loses its grip. The second they start, procrastination is defeated. Progress is not made in waiting, thinking, or planning. It is made in movement. Even small steps create momentum. Even imperfect action is better than inaction. The most successful people are not those who never feel fear. They are those who refuse to let fear control them. They do not wait for motivation, they create it through action. Time is running out, and every moment spent in fear and procrastination is a moment that could have been used to build, grow, and achieve. The only way to move forward is to take action now. The longer we wait, the harder it becomes. The moment we decide to face fear, to break free from procrastination, and to step into action, we reclaim our power. Fear may still whisper, but it will no longer have control. Procrastination may still tempt, but it will no longer hold us back. The only way to win is to move forward, to act despite the fear, and to refuse to wait another day. There comes a moment in life when hesitation is no longer an option, when waiting is no longer an excuse, and when the only path forward is to take action. That moment is now. Every person has a calling, a purpose, a reason they were placed on this earth. But too many people let that purpose go unfulfilled because they never take the first step. They wait for the perfect time, for the right circumstances, for a sign that never comes. But life does not wait, and neither does purpose. There is a call to action, and it must be answered before it is too late. Every great achievement in history began with a moment of decision, a moment when someone chose to step forward instead of standing still. They may not have felt ready. They may not have known exactly what would happen next, but they knew one thing: staying where they were was not an option. The world has never been changed by those who waited. It has been shaped by those who took action, who moved despite their doubts, who stepped forward even when they were afraid. The difference between those who succeed and those who remain stuck is not talent, luck, or intelligence. It is the willingness to act. The greatest enemy of action is hesitation. People hesitate because they fear failure, because they do not have all the answers, because they believe they are not ready. But waiting does not eliminate fear, it only strengthens it. The longer a person waits, the harder it becomes to take the first step. Hesitation leads to stagnation, and stagnation leads to regret. Life is short, and opportunities are fleeting. Every moment spent waiting is a moment lost forever. The only way to move forward is to act now. Action is the bridge between where a person is and where they want to be. Dreams remain dreams until they are acted upon. Ideas remain ideas until they are put into motion. A person can hope, plan, and prepare for a lifetime, but until they take the first step, nothing changes. Action is the key that unlocks progress, the force that turns potential into reality. It is not enough to want something, one must be willing to pursue it. It is not enough to believe in a calling, one must be willing to answer it. Fear and doubt will always be present, but they are not an excuse to stand still. No one who ever achieved greatness did so without facing fear. They simply refused to let fear control them. They understood that the only way to overcome fear is to move forward despite it. Courage is not the absence of fear, it is the decision to act in spite of it. And the moment a person takes action, fear begins to lose its power. The time for waiting is over. The time for excuses is gone. The only moment that matters is now. Whatever has been placed in a person's heart, whatever dream, vision, or calling, it must be pursued with urgency. Tomorrow is not promised. Opportunities do not last forever. The life a person desires, the purpose they were meant to fulfill, the impact they were meant to make, it all begins with a single decision to act. The question is not whether a person has a calling, the question is whether they will answer it. The time is now. The call to action has been given. The only thing left to do is take the first step. Life is more than what we see, more than the temporary struggles, victories, and pursuits of this world. Too often people live as if this life is all there is, chasing after success, wealth, and recognition, while neglecting the deeper, eternal purpose for which they were created. But everything in this world is passing away. The achievements that seem so important today will one day be forgotten. The possessions that people spend a lifetime accumulating will one day belong to someone else. Even the years we have on this earth are uncertain. The only thing that truly matters is what lasts beyond this life. Living with an eternal perspective means understanding that our time on earth is temporary. It is a brief chapter in a much greater story. Yet many live as though they will be here forever, postponing what truly matters for another day. They say they will focus on their purpose later, that they will get right with God when they have more time, that they will serve others when it is more convenient. But life moves quickly and time is not guaranteed. Every day is a gift, an opportunity to invest in what will last forever. The things that often consume people's thoughts, their worries, ambitions, and desires, will not matter in the grand scheme of eternity. Success in this world is meaningless if it is not aligned with a higher purpose. Fame, wealth, and accomplishments may bring temporary satisfaction, but they will all fade away. What will remain is the impact we had on others, the love we gave, and the legacy we left behind. When people live only for themselves, they build a life that crumbles with time. But when they live with eternity in mind, they build something that lasts forever. Fear loses its grip when a person understands eternity. Many are held back by the fear of failure, rejection, or suffering. They avoid stepping into their purpose because they are afraid of what they might lose. But when they see beyond this life, they realize that the only real loss is wasting the time they have been given. What does it profit a person to gain the whole world but lose their soul? No earthly success can replace the fulfillment that comes from living in alignment with eternal truth. Every decision, every action, every moment is an opportunity to invest in eternity. The way we treat others, the way we use our gifts, the way we spend our time, it all matters. The distractions of this world may seem urgent, but they are temporary. The things that truly matter are the things that will outlast this life. Living with an eternal perspective means choosing what is right over what is easy, choosing to love even when it is difficult, choosing to give even when it is inconvenient, and choosing to trust in a greater plan even when the path is unclear. Regret is one of the heaviest burdens a person can carry. Many reach the end of their lives realizing they spent their time chasing things that did not matter. They had the opportunity to make a difference, but they were too busy. They had the chance to love more deeply, but they were too distracted. They had the time to seek their true purpose, but they wasted it on things that faded away. Living with eternity in mind removes the weight of regret. It shifts focus from the temporary to the lasting, from selfish ambition to greater purpose, from fleeting success to eternal significance. The time we have is short, but the impact we make can last forever. Each day is an opportunity to live with purpose, to choose what matters, to invest in what will never fade. The question is not how long we will live, but what we will do with the time we have. When we live with eternity in mind, every moment becomes meaningful and every action carries lasting significance. So the question remains, how will you live the time you have been given? Will you chase what fades or will you invest in what lasts forever? The choice is yours. Every day is an opportunity to live with purpose, to love deeply, to serve selflessly, and to walk in the truth that goes beyond this life. Do not wait for another day to start living with an eternal perspective. The time is now. Make your life count, not just for today, but for eternity.